Imagine your breakfast cereal, that healthy granola bar, and the soda you grab mid-afternoon are quietly conspiring against your health. Sounds like it should be illegal, right? Well, major scientific reviews say the foods that make up nearly half of our diets are linked to dozens of health problems. Today, we're going to unpack what ultra-processed actually means, why it matters beyond calories, what the biggest studies, involving millions of people, have found, and what you may be able to do about it so that your health and the health of your loved ones don't become part of the negative outcomes. So stick around for some practical steps you can take that may prevent long-term health issues. In this episode, we will follow a simple roadmap. First, what counts as an ultra-processed food? Second, what do the largest studies actually show? Third, why these foods do more than just add calories. Fourth, what you can do about it, personally and at the policy level. Fifth, we'll debunk a few common myths, and finally we'll give practical swaps, recipes, and how to read labels like a pro. Along the way, we'll cite the big papers and explain the mechanisms in plain English so you can walk away feeling empowered to make some small changes that add up to big results. Before we get to the practical steps you can take, we first have to show you why those steps aren't just an option. They are necessary but possible for anyone to do at any age. Right now, to change possible unwanted health outcomes. In other words, sometimes you have to expose the nightmare before you can reveal the dream. All right, let's dig into the science and what counts as an ultra-processed food. The working definition comes from the NOVA framework. In short, ultra-processed foods, UPFs, are industrially formulated products made mostly from substances extracted from foods, like oils, starches, and sugars, plus additives for color, flavor, texture, and shelf life. Did you catch that bit about formulated products? How about where it says extracted from foods? Does that not give away that they may be more beneficial for the manufacturers, but not your family's health? They're engineered to taste great, be cheap, and last on shelves, not to be nutritious. Here's a quick red flag checklist as you are shopping at the store or online for your next grocery grab. Long ingredient lists full of unpronounceable chemicals, flavor enhancers, emulsifiers, artificial sweeteners, or industrially reconstituted ingredients. If it ticks those boxes, it's probably a UPF. Ask yourself, does my snack sound like a chemistry lab or a picnic? If it's the lab, maybe pass. Also, why do we need 14 types of sugar? Are they in a sugar family reunion? They can't all be natural, right? If you have to modify it, is it still how nature intended? As a good rule of thumb, keeping to products that have 5 or 6 ingredients on the package versus the UPFs, which will easily have 10 to 20 or more. Slowly finding similar types of products where you go from 10 to 20 or down to 5 or 6 is an easier way to make small changes as you approach the information we are discussing in this episode. In the world of UPFs and their amount of modification or means of manufacturing them, there are borderline cases. These are bread, fortified cereals, and yogurt, to name a few. Some versions are minimally processed, others are ultra-processed. That's why NOVA focuses on the overall formulation and purpose. Is the product mostly industrial ingredients and additives designed to be hyper-palatable and long-lasting? If yes, classify as UPF. This would seem to tell you that at creation, the bottom line is their bottom line, if you catch my drift. It means that if their intention is long shelf life and less quality whole food ingredients that would spoil if left out, then it is for sure a UPF. Think about that apple that you slice open and leave out on the counter. What happens to it over time? That's right, it gets all brown. UPFs are designed to last longer on the shelf for profit. All right, so what about the actual evidence? We're not talking about small anecdotes here. In fact, the strongest lines of evidence come from 3 sources: randomized feeding trials, large prospective cohort studies, and umbrella reviews/meta-analyses that pool many studies. Taken together, they point to consistent associations between higher UPF intake and a bunch of bad outcomes. Sound dramatic again? Sound like something worth fixing? In a tightly controlled inpatient study, participants ate either an ultra-processed diet or an unprocessed diet matched for calories, sugar, fat, and sodium. Despite the match, people ate more calories on the UPF diet and gained weight. That tells us something about the food itself, not just its calories. So, is the food to blame, or your willpower? Could this be where we get the term empty calories? Could this be why you can be full and still feel hungry at the same time? It's as if your belly is distended, showing lots of food consumed, but are you actually getting any nutrition? Are the foods we eat on a regular basis giving us the proper fuel in the form of proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals associated with a healthy mind and body? Spoiler: commercialized food can be very persuasive. It's like the infomercial of food. But wait, there's more, and if you act now, you get the idea. Large long-term cohort studies, like Srour and colleagues, show people who eat more UPFs have higher risks of cardiovascular disease and other problems. These are observational, but involve tens or hundreds of thousands of people. So when the data points to a negative outcome across that many plates, it's worth listening. Fiolet and team reported links between higher UPF consumption and an increased risk of certain cancers. Before you get too upset and want to throw something at the screen, keep in mind this is showing association, not definitive and absolute cause, but it's notable. Are we saying every muffin is a villain? No. Are we saying lots of packaged muffins across many people are worrying? Yes. Think of it like rain. One drop isn't a flood, but a lot of drops over time is a problem. Since those papers, even more cohorts from different countries, Spain, France, Brazil, the UK, and beyond, have found similar signals for mortality, heart disease, diabetes, and some cancers. That cross-country consistency strengthens the case that there's something about UPFs, not just local diets. When researchers pooled dozens of studies covering millions of participants across countries, consistent patterns emerged no matter the location. Higher UPF intake is associated with increased risk of all-cause mortality, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, some cancers, worse mental health outcomes like depression, obesity, and metabolic syndrome. That's a long hit list. Is it enough to make your grocery list nervous? Well, absolutely. Important nuance: most human studies are observational, meaning they show correlation, not absolute proof of causation. But we have experimental evidence, like Hall's trial, and plausible biological mechanisms that make these associations credible and concerning. But what does this mean for you and your family? It is another way of saying we are noticing these common and unwanted or even harmful health outcomes across a wide variety of people groups and their locations. But we can't say for certain that it will happen the same way to you or your family. This is where a level head comes in. Does this absolutely mean it will happen to me and my family? It depends on a wide variety of factors, things like individual lifestyle, genetics, access to quality foods versus a plethora of UPFs based on socio-economic statuses. But is this a good way to look at this? Think about it this way. If the common introduction to the hundreds of thousands of people observed is the consistent and regular consumption of ultra-processed foods, and this shows a huge spike in all-cause mortality, shouldn't we take notice? Shouldn't this be cause for making some small changes daily for you and your family? Let's keep digging. If UPFs were just calorie bombs, the fix would be simple: eat less. But UPFs do several things that calories alone don't explain. Let's walk through the mechanisms, quick and clear, because biology is complicated and also because eat less is a terrible party invitation. Mechanisms include 1. Appetite and satiety disruption. UPFs are engineered to be hyperpalatable. They can hijack reward pathways and blunt fullness signals, so people unconsciously eat more. Texture, energy density, and food structure matter. Solid food you chew slows intake. Soft, rapidly swallowed foods can lead to overconsumption. It's like your brain gets a spam call that says, "Eat more," and you pick up every time. 2. Additives and the gut microbiome. Emulsifiers, artificial sweeteners, preservatives, and other additives can change gut bacteria and promote low-grade inflammation, linked to metabolic and mental health problems. Animal studies are especially suggestive here, and some human data mirrors that pattern. Your gut has a community. Treat it like house guests, not invaders. 3. Food matrix and nutrient bioavailability. Processing alters the food matrix, how nutrients are packaged together. Whole foods release energy more slowly, provide fiber and micronutrients, and keep you fuller. Ultra-processing strip structure speeds digestion and can change how nutrients are absorbed. 4. Nutrient displacement. When UPFs dominate the diet, they crowd out fiber, vitamins, and micronutrients. Two diets with the same calories can have very different health effects. Think white bread and soda versus beans, veggies, and whole grains. Same calories, different outcomes. 5. Chronic metabolic and inflammatory effects. Over time, these factors contribute to insulin resistance, higher blood pressure, adverse lipid profiles, and systemic inflammation, pathways that underlie heart disease, diabetes, and some cancers. So it's not just about the scale, it's about what's happening inside. Think of UPFs like slow-motion bank robbers stealing metabolic coins. 6. Social and behavioral pathways. UPFs are cheap, heavily marketed, and convenient. That shapes meal patterns, more snacking, more eating on the go, less cooking, which influences long-term habits and population-level risk. Put those pieces together and UPFs do more than make you gain weight. They raise risk across multiple systems, affect mental health, and are linked with earlier death in several large analyses. Your body is not a vending machine. Try not to treat it like one. Quick case study. Anna, busy graduate student. Breakfast, flavored yogurt with granola bar. Lunch, microwave meal. Snack, energy bar. Dinner, frozen pizza. She eats same calorie diet as her friend Maya, who eats oatmeal, beans, veggies, and fruit. Over months, Anna notices mid-afternoon crashes, weight creep, and low mood. Maya feels more stable. The science aligns with what many experience. Diet patterns matter. How big is the problem? In many high-income countries, UPFs contribute 40 to 60% of daily calories. In the US, it's over 50%. That means even small increases in individual risk translate to big public health impacts. In other words, lots of tiny squirrels gathering bad nuts can wreck the whole pantry. There's also a social dimension. UPFs tend to be cheap, shelf-stable, and aggressively marketed, especially in low-income neighborhoods. That makes this both a public health and social justice issue. Food access, time scarcity, and advertising shape choices. So is this just a diet problem? Nope, it's policy, money, and advertising doing the tango. Public health researchers point out that reducing UPFs at the population level requires structural changes. Subsidies for fruit and veg, limits on junk food marketing to kids, front-of-pack warning labels. Individual change helps, but policy multiplies impact. Okay, what about possible solutions? The truth is, there are realistic, evidence-aligned steps people and policymakers can take. None of this is about perfection, it's about shifting the balance. If that sounds like a plot twist, here's your role: snack reformer. Want to make one change without becoming a full-time chef? We've got you. Simple, non-judgmental strategies. 1. Shift your plate toward whole or minimally processed foods. Aim for roughly 80% of calories from whole foods: fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, eggs, unprocessed meats, and nuts. As a practical tip, make veggies the default side at meals, not just an add-on. 2. Read ingredient lists and know the red flags. If the ingredient list reads like a chemistry test or has multiple emulsifiers, that's a red flag. Look at it this way: if you need a degree to pronounce the ingredients, you probably don't need the product. Also watch for hyper-specific names for sugars: maltodextrin, dextrose, high fructose corn syrup. They all add up. 3. Cook and prepare simple staples. Batch cook beans, roast a tray of veggies, and keep frozen fruit for smoothies. 2 easy recipes could be overnight oats, which are oats plus milk plus fruit plus seeds, in a mason jar put in at night for breakfast in the morning, and a 1-pan roasted chicken with root vegetables. 4. Make gradual swaps and plan for cravings. Swap 1 UPF a week, cereal to steel-cut oats, soda to sparkling water with citrus, or a healthier soda that comes with positive benefits while satisfying your craving for soda in general. Package snacks to nuts and yogurt. For cravings, pair pleasure with nutrition: dark chocolate plus almonds, or air-popped popcorn with nutritional yeast. 5. Time and tactics for busy lives. If you're short on time and trying to plan healthier meals, use convenience without falling into UPFs. You can do this by getting canned beans, but make sure you rinse them, pre-washed salad greens, frozen veggies with no sauce, and plain Greek yogurt. By leaning toward minimally processed convenience options, you can more easily reduce your family's intake of UPFs and save money in the long run. Policy matters too, as we look at reducing overall UPF use and what the studies found. Things like taxes on sugary drinks, stronger labeling, restrictions on junk food advertising to kids, incentives for fresh food retailers in underserved neighborhoods. These changes can shift population diets and create powerful long-term and generational changes. Individual action is powerful, but systemic change multiplies impact. Vote with your fork and with your ballot. Here are 2 quick myths promised in the beginning of the video. You thought I'd forget, didn't you? Myth 1. All processing is bad. Not necessarily. Some processes common in UPFs, like pasteurization, freezing, and milling, can be useful. The big issue is ultra-processing with additives and industrial ingredients combined with extremely long ingredient lists is what makes UPFs the ones to limit or avoid. Myth 2. If it's labeled healthy, it is healthy. Not necessarily. Low fat doesn't mean low processing. Always check the ingredient list and the whole food content. Bottom line, ultra-processed foods are more than empty calories. The strongest evidence links them to a wide range of chronic diseases and earlier death. And because they're such a large part of modern diets, reducing them is one of the biggest levers we have for better population health. If this episode changed how you look at your cart, like and share to spread the word, and subscribe for more evidence-based breakdowns. Check the description for links to the sources from this video, so tell us in the comments. What's one ultra-processed food you're willing to swap this week? What food topics should we cover next? And let us know what you learned and what information really stood out to you. Bonus points for punny answers. I care about your responses. See you on the next video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to not miss a single eye-opening video discussing the truth on your plate. Until next time.